welcome to this, the first of two semi-final rounds of the Junior Dueling Challenge Culinary Competition. We are in our 11th season, and 6 schools have made it through to this stage of the competition. They are the Lodge School, Springer Memorial Secondary School, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic, St. Leonard's Boys School, the Aline School, and the Corrigan Parry School. Represented in our first round will be the Lodge School, the Springer Memorial School, and the Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic.
We've done a sunrise sandwich, and a filling of salt biscuits.
You're poaching the flying fish. Okay, so that's the other component going with the sandwich, or this is on the side?
Go with the sandwich.
Sweet and sour sauce with sweet potato mash, raspberry mash with fried coconut shrimp.
Here I'm preparing some ground provisions, some local ground provisions. We have eggplant, orange sweet potato, normal sweet potato, and some breadfruit. And we're just going to put them on the grill just to grill a little bit so that they get the color that we would like.
This is the signature dish round of this season's Junior Dueling Challenge, which means teams will be required to produce a dish which they would have created and practiced for this competition. They have been given 35 minutes in which to complete this dish. So, with the judges keeping a watchful eye, the teams are well on their way. The battle for junior culinary supremacy is on. The winner of this season's competition will earn the right to represent Barbados at this year's Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge, which forms part of our annual Caribbean Junior Culinary Conference being held right here in Barbados. Just to remind you, we are here in our brand new kitchen of the Culinary Arena, where semi-final number 1 of the Junior Dueling Challenge is in progress. Welcome back to the Culinary Arena and the Junior Dueling Challenge. Our judges for this round of competition are Chief Judge Antonel Bayer, Chef Reginald Seeley, and Chef Glenroy Aline. Let's listen in as they comment on the progress of the teams in this round.
Well, so far they are at a very measured pace, but I expect them to increase shortly, especially when we hit the 10-minute marker. And next thing we're looking at getting your plating together. So by now they should be getting ready to. All the cooking should be on, and final cooking should be within another couple of minutes if they want to be on time. But for right now, it's just still a very measured pace. I guess they're sticking to their plan, but we will see as time starts to go away. Sometimes, plans go out the window.
Yeah, so now we're seeing some hastening happening in the kitchen.
Yeah, so it seems now that they're going in another gear, coming up with about 7 minutes to go. I can see there's some grilling going on the end station, and some frying in the middle, and everybody now seems to be intensifying their pace.
Well, so far, it's not going that intense as yet, because within the first 10 minutes or so, the guys tend to be a bit relaxed. But when they hear the last 10-15 minutes of that 35 minutes, they get to realize that 35 minutes is not as long as they may think that it is, just to produce two plates for us. But it's kind of good today because we are actually in a new arena.
Yeah, it's a totally new environment, and I can see that they're picking up the pace and probably getting accustomed now to this new kitchen area. They probably didn't train in this area, as they were told earlier about the amount of the new strength of the gas coming through in the commercial stove. So I guess they're also getting a bit comfortable also now with the new equipment which they are working with. Very new spanking kitchen they have here, and it really looks fantastic to work in. I tell you, I won't mind going in myself.
Chef Reggie?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's a spanking new kitchen, equipment and all. Right, what I'm not seeing enough of though is, communication among themselves. I'm not seeing them talking as much. Everybody's quiet and focused on what they're doing.
It seems to have a quiet communication, a game plan which they're sticking to. They seem quite cohesive to me in working together, and I know that time is the hustle and the sternness in the face. It brings out that in the competition now, the game face now getting on. And a bit of hustle now really starting to go.
Yeah, it caused the adrenaline rush. That brings out the butterflies in you. That's the ones that give you that fuel and energy that takes you over the top.
Well, that's true now. Really, I can see some molding going on one station, and one station also saw some plates came out the oven. So Samuel Jackman, they seem to be getting ready to get into their plating mode. And also at the end, Springer, now I see them also with plates out.
I can tell you a challenge they might have though, that is plating, because looking at the stations is pretty much congested. It has a lot on there. So they should find room, to place their plate that they can play it comfortably.
Well, yes, they have to start trying to get into the plating section of it now. So they need to create some space on their station. I can still see some chicken breasts going on the grill down there on the station with Springer, but they definitely need now to start to create some of the clutter from off the station in order that they have an area to play it comfortably, play it cleanly, and execute what they're been training for.
Yeah, with just about 4 minutes to go, we try to tell them they have 35 minutes, but if they go overtime, that's when the actual points is being for us, but it's not going to take away anything from, because they still have taste, they still have presentation. All of that still has to go into place for this competition. So 35 minutes, that's hustling, but we don't want them to go over, but we just recognize that still, if they go over, those added points is for us, but they can still make up for it within the taste and the presentation.
Yes, I can see the audience also now getting into it, trying to urge their teams on that they don't go overtime. With just about coming up to the 3-minute marker.
We see Spray Memorial beginning to plate start to plate their plates. Spray Memorial is starting to plate spread their dishes now. They have their 2 dishes out. They have their components on the plate. They're going with their sauce on the plate now, and they're just getting everything together for their dish.
Yeah, with the crowd encouragement also, I can see they're starting, in particular Springer, to clear some of the clutter on the station and get together. But it's going to be very tight to the finish line, Roy. I can see that they're leaning towards a bit of overtime at this moment.
Yeah, as we said, 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes now is not a lot of time. Springer's set, they're plating. That's where you want to be at this time. You want to be plating and putting your stuff together, not being finishing up on the grill or whatever. You should be concentrating on plating.
We also see the Samuel Jetman, Prescott Polytechnic, they're also in their plating stages at this point in time, and he's checking the clock vigorously. So
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd getting all enthusiastic and cheering on their section.
Okay. I can see Lodge now taking down their plates with just about 2 minutes remaining. And you should be on your roller skates at this time. This is where the fun actually starts to happen.
And also the law school is beginning to start their starters on their plate now to see what they're coming with. They have their ground provisions that they have actually boiled first, and then they have their grilled them. They also have their chicken breast. They also have some steamed veg also going.
Well, the pressure is always on the first round. The other competitors there are a bit relaxed now, watching what's going on, and probably will have a little bit more thought into what they're going to be doing and how to get their stuff out. So being in the first round is always very difficult. You have to set the bar first of all, and also your time management also has to be very on par.
And that's something that we try to enforce in these
You're
kids.
coming up now, 1 minute remaining, students.
60 seconds to
1
go.
minute remaining. I can see all three teams are in the plating process. And don't forget, students, you have to bring one plate up here to the judges' table.
$40 seconds to go, guys.
Remember, it's only 2 plates you're doing for this round. 2 plates. You make sure you got one to the judges' table within 27 seconds. That is, of course, to make sure you don't go into overtime.
And you can see the Sperm Mall is actually finishing up their touches now on their plate.
10 seconds
They
to go,
have
guys.
almost
10
all the
seconds.
components.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have SJPP completing within time.
SJPP is on time.
Successfully
Now we have
placed
the
one
Sperm
plate on
Memorial
the
now coming
table.
up with their plate.
And then we
Followed
have
by
the
Springer.
Springer Memorial.
We are waiting a plate from Lodge.
Well, the clock says time up. We got a new clock that is not joking. It says time's
Time
up.
up.
Everything is new in this kitchen for this competition this year.
We're waiting on the Lodge. Okay, we're just now waiting on the Lodge School.
To get at least one plate on the judges' table.
And now we see the law school now coming with their finished product.
How do you feel about the competition today?
I feel great about it because we get everything done on time and we play everything. It look lovely and nice.
Oh, I feel confident about our dish. I feel like we are going to the next rounds.
We think our presentation was really good. I think we could have did a little bit better, but overall the time management, everything was okay. I think our presentation went really well with the name that we gave to our dish, which was sunshine sandwich.
During the competition, it was quite nerve-wracking. At first, I was kind of nervous, but as soon as the time got gradually, I kind of embraced it.
I had a little challenging with the sweet and sour sauce, but still made it through.
The only problem was because like when you had to walk, the cameraman was all in steady way and you couldn't move, and I had to do it. Every minute I had to be saying, excuse me,
Yes.
excuse me. Because I was going to put my plate and then the camera was there, hey, bounce me, and I was like, shh. And then the last 2 seconds you bounce me.
The competition for me, being my first time, was a bit difficult. I tried to manage my time well. We had a few challenges during the competition, but we overcame them as best as we could during the time.
Team SJPP, overall dish needed a bit more seasoning on the shrimp, but the texture, it was cooked very good. And also they had some peppers inside the mash. Next time you're doing that, you could like saute and can add a dimensional flavor to it. That will also help to enhance the dish.
Good afternoon to you guys. We thought about your I thought about your dish. Honestly, the presentation was immaculate. We loved the presentation of your dish. We loved how you did the chicken leg, the lollipop style, and then you had your flying fish. It was rollade with some spinach and also plantain. But what we found is that to us, it was just lacking some flavor. You had the peppers in there, but what that key component is actually the salt content. It was missing that for us.
Well, congratulations, Lodge team. You did well again. My downfall for you was time. You went over time. So as I said repeatedly, you do not want to give away points unnecessarily, right? The dish, presentation was lovely. We had good flavors, good color, textures, presentation and everything, right? You grilled the chicken breast. It was lovely. I mean, I was a bit concerned that at 10 minutes going, started to put on the breast, but I guess you obviously know what you were doing, right? You didn't want to cook it too early and let it dry out. One of the sweet potato, however, was a bit firm, right? So you got to taste your product as well as you cook them, right? Overall, a good job, but the balance again, you had a little too much protein, versus the starch, etc. Yeah, the sauce, it didn't do anything for the plate, unfortunately, but overall, a good job.
Welcome again now to the second round of the Junior Junior Chef competition. Over in the kitchen now we have St. Leonard's School, we have Allen School, and we have Cogent Perry. And your cooking time starts now.
Yes, 35 minutes on the clock, guys. And we'll see what the second round produces. I can see immediately they're off and chopping and dicing and slicing. So it seems like these ones are a bit pepped up from the first round.
Well, this is the advantage of the second round, because you get to realize that in the first round, these guys were actually sitting and watching what was going on in the first round. So this will have somewhat as an advantage to these guys, so that they can know how to manage themselves and how to work themselves into this competition and into the second round from what they have seen in the first round.
That's very true. And Reginald, one team in particular went over a big lead in the first round, so these teams are trying to make sure they don't go into penalty at all.
Yeah, that is good, because they started moving fast from the get-go. They don't wait till the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see, if all the teams finish on time, or if any goes over.
I see there on station with St. Leonard's boys there, very nice skills already, and he's dicing up of green herbs he had there.
Well, actually, these are some senior competitors. This is St. Leonard's Club. We missed them last year. They were not in the competition last year, but they have came back in the competition this year to redeem themselves. And we know that St. Leonard has produced some very good junior chefs in this competition. So we're yet to see what these guys are going to do. But don't take it for chance, because we still have some juniors that competed last year, which is Allen, and then you also have Cogent Perry in the third station. So I mean, you're not going to take anything away from these guys because all of them have come out to prove a point and to redeem themselves.
That is true, and we know there's some very fierce competition amongst the teams here who really go the extra mile in order to make sure that they come out victorious. So we're going to be looking again for that competitive banter again this season, which goes all very well, and it's good encouragement also for the youngsters. What I'm most impressed of also throughout the years of this competition, and I'm seeing it now again, is the utilization of our fresh produce in vegetables, ground provisions, and our fish in particular, which all goes well to see that we are passing on the baton when it comes to our local indigenous food. Because if we don't, we will slowly but surely lose a very vital part of our cultural background and one of the main things that makes us Barbadian, our food.
And that is correct. And to add to that was the herbs as well. I'm seeing a lot of thyme and marjoram, so that's good because they're using the natural flavorings, which makes a difference.
So we should see lots of flavors coming from these guys. I mean, nothing is cooking as yet, but just the marination and the season that these guys are using, it's actually the scent is done. The fragrance is actually coming over here very strongly.
30 minutes to go.
I'll just slip over into one of the kitchens just to see what some of these guys are actually going to be doing this day for us. And I'm actually here over into St. Leonard's kitchen. Could you tell us today what you guys are doing and what you're going to prepare for us today?
Bajan surf and turf with a mango beer sauce. Beer sauce.
These guys are doing a Bajan surf and turf with a mango beer sauce for these guys. And as I said, these guys are looking to redeem themselves because we didn't see them last year into this competition. So this year we're looking to see what these guys are actually going to produce for us this year in this competition.
So again, they look to be pretty much on stream. You're seeing a lot of dicing and slicing going on, which is expected at this stage of the competition. Right.
Also seeing some rice going on. I know normally in this competition we don't see rice being cooked, but
guys are afraid for this rice.
Yes, but the St. Leonard's team, they're up to the challenge, and so they're going to be doing some rice for us today.
Since the first round that we saw this morning, we actually saw some very well presented plates. I mean, very vibrant looking plates and things. But when we really got into the meat of it, what was lacking for us and what really took hold of the dishes was the lack of the flavoring and the lack of the seasoning for these guys. But the look and the quality of the plates that they produced for us this year were very on par. But we're just missing that little thing what we call this actual seasoning.
So two things can help contribute to that factor. Early marinations, want to get their protein marinated early, releasing those flavors from the get-go, and two, tasting as they go. Because you cannot just produce an end product and expect it to be perfect. You taste as it goes. If it needs seasoning, you season. You fix and refine as you go.
We're coming up now on 10 minutes have elapsed. You have 25 minutes remaining. 25 minutes remaining. I notice also, guys, that the audience behind seems to be a lot more involved earlier than the first round. Quite a lot of chatter and combativeness going on behind us, which is good. They're not on the range, but they're into it as they were on the range.
Yeah, because we realize that.
And I'm sure from the children's point of view,
if we can really hear exactly what is going on.
Some of them might not even be paying attention to
If you can really hear what is actually going on in the background for the Coach and Perry. And I can honestly say, and I can tell you for these guys from Coach and Perry, is that they came to the competition last year, and then they redeemed themselves later on in the year when they went on to win the AgroFest competition, which was phenomenal. So these guys that you're seeing here in this competition, they are not new to the competition. They're not new to the pressure that is going on. They are accustomed to this pressure. So the cheering and the excitement is working for them.
Yes, it seems that way.
One thing you can see in common from the first group as well about the appearance of the sections. They're still all a bit clustered.
Yes.
So they have to be careful when plating time comes that they have enough room and space on their section to play it properly.
Well, they seem to be finding some sort of rhythm to it. As you said, it's pretty clustered, but they're trying to find some sort of rhythm on this station.
I mean, we talk about seasoning earlier on in the competition about the first group, but these guys are not taking nothing for chance. We're talking about our seasoning and our flavors. And over in the Cotton Prairie kitchen, we see that they have their 5-spice chicken wrap already marinated and just sitting there in that marination. They also have their fish in what we call in a little summers, in some salt and a little lime juice and in some water, so it can just take out some of that freshness. And I mean, they're actually seasoning it right now. So I mean, these guys understand what has happened in the first round, and they're not leaving nothing up for chance in this second round.
Protein is chicken breast.
Yes, it is. I'm using protein. It's it's 5-spice rub sausage, chicken sausage, and mozzarella. So I just want to see how this comes together for this competition.
Sounds very interesting.
Interesting combination indeed.
And now we're coming up to 15 minutes remaining, and at this stage, all the main cooking should be on and getting ready now to prepare themselves for the final stages. So, like any particular garnish they may have in mind, now would be a good time to be doing that type of execution whilst your main proteins and starches are on cooking. But at this stage, all your food components should be on the stove, should be on cooking.
That is correct. Interesting technique being used there for the cocoa. Looks like she's sieving in the cornmeal.
Yes. You know they teach us a thing or two, because we see new different techniques being used to prepare some of our old-time traditional dishes.
And that is correct, because you don't want the same old techniques. It's good when persons take things and make a twist. That's what cooking is about. That's what being a chef is about. Being creative, finding a new way, creating a new recipe. One thing I noticed about the first group and also the second group, I have not seen a team glance at the time. They just focus on what they're doing. As I said, they'll be executing their plan, so they know what they have to do. But it's good to peep at the time to make sure that you're on par with where you should be at certain stages.
I still see quite a bit of produce though on the cylinder station in their bowl. I don't know if they used up all that they need, and that is some left back in reserve, but still looks like quite a lot of produce still on the cylinder station there in the bowl.
Yes. Indeed, it's still a bit clustered. You see a lot of stuff that are not peeled or aren't chopped. We're hoping it's left over.
With just under 10 minutes to go, I mean, we're looking at it still cylinders. It's just, you see that they still have their beef that they have seasoned, and it's just sitting there. And we still got to be careful with local beef. It's not like overseas beef, which it has its chemicals and it cooks a lot quicker. This is all local beef, so we still got to be careful with that. We're just under 10 minutes to go in how that they are going to prepare that for us today.
Well, we may be cutting our local beef a bit short there, Glenroy. Since they're probably trained with it, they might think it may be tender enough.
That is true. I'm not leaving anything up for chance with these guys. I mean, because the way that they are working and the way that they are performing is just very phenomenal.
We can see the Aline stirring away in that cocoa, making sure the texture is right.
That's going on from the audience. I mean,
that's amazing. The more chefs we have here, Glenroy.
I can see
all sorts of new techniques.
All sorts of techniques that is being exhibited today for this competition.
And the instructions continue.
And the instructions continue. But the students seem all to be blocking it out, Reginald.
They're just blocking it everything.
Yeah, they're just in their own zone and going on.
Anything, man. With just under 8 minutes to go.
Sometimes that's the best way, because you don't want to be distracted. You know, because
under 8 minutes.
everybody's
to go.
shouting instructions at you. You know, it's not the easiest thing for you to, you know, take on board.
I see St. Leonard's now bringing out the grill. I guess that's probably for the beef.
Yeah,
but the grill is going to take a minute or two to really get it to maximum heat
but
in
they-
order for them to put all that beef. So I think they may be leaving it just a bit too late.
And this is something
Yes.
that we have seen through this competition in the first round, also in the second round. A lot of these stove-top grills these guys has brought today, and they're actually using it in this competition, and which is good because that means that they have been trained in how to use a grill. And you know, our chef is one that is very keen on the grill. Just love to see the grill marks out from the meat. With just under 5 minutes to go, we still see some cooking still has to be going on in the kitchen, whereby that you see the Ali School, they still have their protein that's sitting on their table. We see actually Coach and Perry still have their starches resting on the table. I mean, it doesn't have
Leonard's
to be in all
now
the
putting on the
justice
beef,
yet,
but
we're
still
gonna
the grill is not it's not quite heated up enough.
Yeah, you can see that because from the time he put the beef on, you should see the sizzle or hear it.
Yes.
You know?
Should be seeing
smoke coming from
great
it. You know?
smoke coming from it, a nice sizzle. It's not quite at the temperature it should be at, but I guess they think they can't risk to leave it any much longer.
True.
With just about 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining.
And just as we were saying about space, I see the St. Leonard's boys now juggling around to get some space on the table.
Coach and Perry now is actually beginning to plate their 2 plates. They have their spinach resting on the plates, and they realize and understand how critical these last couple of minutes is, and it's just under 5 minutes that they have to produce 2 plates for us, which 2 plates that they have to produce for us.
I see Aline is now going over to also cook something that's breaded, which is also leaving it, very, very tight with time.
Yes. St. Leonard's boys, I see they're cutting on a metal pan. I don't know why they would do that, and there are chopping boards there for them to use. You know,
Yeah.
you got to be careful.
And the fish that we saw St. Leonard's do with that, they have rollad and stuff. I mean, if we can see it over here, it has a very beautiful color over here, and the inside of it. So I mean, we're going to see how those flavors come through with those stuffing. And these guys, if you see the intensity of these guys right now at this point in time, we see the rush, we see the adrenaline, you understand?
3 minutes to go.
We're climbing up to 3 minutes remaining, chefs. 3 minutes remaining.
And the beef, you know, St. Leonard's boys are tending to the beef on the grill. He's turning it. And the way it's buckling, you can look at it and see the way it's buckling. Huh?
Yes. You know, if the grill was at the correct temperature when he put it on, it would have been off by now.
Yes.
You know.
And remember, he has to give it time to rest.
Yes.
Just under 3 minutes to go. Just under 3 minutes to go. That these guys have 2 plates to produce for just for these judges. Just 2 plates.
Well, it seems now like they're now finishing off their main cooking, but now it's the added pressure trying to get these, dishes plated with the remaining time coming up to just about under 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes, 2 plates.
And this is the buckling down time, the nerve-wracking time. Less than 2 minutes now. Actually, we can see College and Parry, they're plating, they're in the plating process. If there's one team that's going to finish on time, it looks like them because they're halfway through their plating. Unfortunately, the other 2 teams have not started to play as yet, but we'll see how it goes because with less than a minute and a half to go, and College of Parry looks as though they're going to finish on time. They're the only team plating so far.
We have 1 minute remaining.
Just about
1 minute
to go.
remaining. Well, it seems that we're definitely going to be going in to overtime.
Yes.
To overtime in this section.
That's sad.
Unless they really pull something out of the hat.
And that's sad because College Jump already were plating with more than a minute to go. You know, so I thought they would be the first team to
They were
finish on
actually
time.
the first out to the
But
block.
here they come, you know,
Actually,
they
they're coming in
might
the
make it in the nick of time.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time. Continue cooking.
And we have actually Coach and Perry. We actually just have Coach and Perry now stuff finished out actually their 2 plates that they have produced for us today, which is a surf and turf mash and a 5 spice rub chicken.
I can actually smell the spices
You
here.
can actually smell the
Yes,
aroma
we're back
and the
here,
flavor
Gary
that's
Roy.
coming from this chicken over here.
And one thing about the color, I mean, fantastic colors, you know, good contrast in colors.
Very good, very
And
good.
that is what we talk about in the first round, the vibrance and the actual color that is going on onto these plates and actually what we can see.
Instructions are still coming in, believe it or not. Looking at the second person to come up, you know, I haven't seen any person looking as though they're close to finish plating as yet, but they're well over time.
Over here we have the alien spoon now with their plate now, which now actually is a cuckoo.
And we're still awaiting St. Leonard's boys.
We still see, and the rice that they have, within those 35 minutes is phenomenal. And look at the plating that these guys are actually doing in the St. Leonard's corner. Get something on the plate, guys. We don't want you to go too much into the overtime. We still want you to get those plates up here. Just get those plates up here. Get something up here for the judges. 2 plates, at least 1 plate for the judges. At least 1 plate, guys. St. Leonard's, we just need 1 plate now. We're going actually into 2 minutes overtime. We still actually have 2 minutes overtime, guys.
And the guys are gingerly taking the time and wiping the plate, you know.
At least
no
1
rush.
plate for the judges. Just get 1 plate over for the judges. Just finish that other plate. 1 plate for the judges and just finish that other plate. This round with the vice chancellor was much more exciting. It was much more, a lot more intense than the actual first round that we saw earlier on.
So looking at the presentation in front, it was quite interesting. You know, contrasting. One thing in common is color. You know, the plates are very colorful, right? So no
Yes.
boring presentation at all.
Yes, very interesting presentation, and look forward to see how it takes.
Just need 2 players, guys. We're actually going also across to your 5 minutes time. It's actually 5 minutes that you're going into.
Right. And the St. Leonard's boys are battling with the second plate again.
Well, we didn't really had much training per se, but when we did, we tried to do our best in everything that we do. That's pretty much it.
Well, about today, well, I kind of disappointed about myself because like I forgot most of the things. I'm really disappointed about the day. So in the next round, I really got to bring my A game because I really want to make it to finals.
Today was quite okay. Dish came out well to me. It didn't come out as I expected, but at the end of the day, it still came out good. At first, when the time started, it was okay, but when it came down to the last 5 minutes, it felt kind of pressuring. But I think I did well overall today.
For me, it was a really good experience. The competition actually fought well. What I think about the dish was it was excellent actually, but the sauce was a bit too runny. We should have fixed that, but that was the best we could have done.
All right, the event overall was good. The rush about the event is like the last 5 minutes, like people telling you, get the plate, do this, do that. You left something on your stove, retrieve this, get that. So it's like kind of rush, but it's a good experience overall.
Yeah, when you hear the last 5 minutes, you were like rushing, you got your heart beating faster, everything, just going, your head thinking, all your thoughts running well, just get the plate on the table.
Okay, so we have the second round. I want to say congratulations to Team Aline. Right, you had some spills and spunder. I mean, one person was Nick, but I love the fact that you continue, you press on. You didn't let that stop you. Overall, the dish, it was very nice. You had the fish taste delicious. Texture was very good, well seasoned. That was your best element of the dish. However, your kuku, it was on the opposite side. All day we didn't have enough seasoning, but you had a little bit too much seasoning on the kuku. Right, presentation was okay, but good effort overall, girls.
Today, I love the challenge you put on your dish. It was very challenging what you set out to do, but again in execution. One was first of all your spinach on your plate. It was straight raw. You should have blanched it. It would have given it a little more flavor, a bit more flexibility also, and putting a raw element like that on the plate, you must make sure your components are cooked. Your chicken needed a little salt. Your five spice really sort of saved it. It gave the flavor on the outside, but it needed salt. Same thing also with your fish. Those two components needed seasoning. Your mash was beautiful. Very good texture, very good flavor. So my colleagues will speak to other things, but again, pay attention to your seasoning.